welcome back to another episode of From the Shadows. And as always, guys, if you are enjoying the series, please do drop a like on the video. Now, we're going to start off with the question of the day, and since I'm recording this actually on the day that goes out, first I just want to apologise if I sound a little bit stuffy. I do have a slightly blocked nose today, but I need to record these videos, otherwise you wouldn't be getting a video today, and I really do not want that. Also, once again, I do apologise for being a bit lax with replying to comments over the weekends and stuff. Well, not just over the weekends, just in general at times. When I have bad days, I can't look at computer screens for too long because it just makes me feel so ill. So it's up and down, basically. But today is a good day, or so far it seems to be a good day, so that is good. Now we're going to go into a question of the day. And today's question is a really, really simple one, just because there's been so much talk about this. People have been tweeting me, and I've had this question about 3 times over the last day. So we'll talk about it. Well, let's talk about Patrick Roberts. He's moved to City. Overall fee could rise as high as 11 million. I don't know the exact details because obviously it's undisclosed. Although, well, they said no, I don't know actually. It's really hard to explain. It's one of those things where I thought it was undisclosed, but then there was all kinds of figures being, I don't know, reported around. So it seems like a fair amount of money, of course, for an 18-year-old. I think he's 18 now. What do I think about it? Obviously, as a Fulham fan, I'm obviously going to be biased about it, but at the same time, I feel about the same as not the same. I feel very similar to when I saw, Scott Sinclair join City, and when Jack Rodwell joined City, and when all of these players joined City, because, except they are actually sort of, at least, not complete footballers, but they were at least developed to a certain extent where they were playing week in, week out, and they still couldn't get in the City team. And Patrick Roberts, he has barely played for Fulham this last year, let alone anyone else. So he's done great things when playing for England. Some of his youth performances have been fantastic, and watching him in the youth FA Cup in the final against Chelsea a few years ago, he was fantastic in that game too. But I don't know, it just seems like the big clubs are just hoovering up the young talent, and that's well and good, but they're not using them. Like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head of a single player that's come through Manchester City's academy and actually plays for them, not like gets loaned out to Sunderland, actually plays for them over the last God knows how long. I can't think of a single player. I really am struggling here. I'm sure they've got lots of players in the academy and all that, but where are they then? I don't see them getting into the first team anytime soon because they've got such great players already, and that's understandable, but it just seems like they're just hoovering up these talented players, and I think that's really stunting the growth of a lot of these players. I feel like Scott Sinclair and Jack Rodwell could easily be England internationals by now if they had been playing football over the past 3 or 4 years. It just seems strange, and particularly with a player like Patrick Roberts, who's not even developed yet, and I just don't know whether he's going to develop now. He obviously was very, very highly rated, and his stock has dropped a little bit this year, and I don't think this is going to, it might temporarily put it up, but I just think in the long run it's going to hurt him, which is a shame, but that's the way modern football is, isn't it? I'm not saying I would have expected him to be at Fulham his entire career, of course I wouldn't have, but it would have been nice for him to have at least developed into a bit of a footballer before he left, and just went for the big club, basically. It seems the moves are coming earlier and earlier, and with less and less in terms of actual substance. But there you go. Moving along. If you've got any ideas for a question today, drop it in the comments right now. As you can see, we've played a lot of games this month. I was determined to sort of bust through quite a fair amount of them, just to get a bit more content for you guys in this episode. Now, after the result against Nancy, which was a solid performance, we went away to Angers, who of course are in the relegation zone, and this was a strange one. I did not think we were quite, well, in fact we weren't. We were definitely not 4-1 good. But it was an exciting one, frankly. It was a really exciting game. We took the lead through Jeremy Oban, up from a corner, big header, and he seems to be scoring a little bit more lately, which has been pleasant to see, if nothing else. Then Aslan with another goal for us, which is great to see. I really have appreciated him. It was a good one, actually. Played to him on the edge of the area, and he really just thumped it. We have exploited corners a little bit in that game, I have to say. They did then get one back through Isaac Kiesi-Thielin, and unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, I thought that was going to be the beginning of them coming back, and they kind of did batter us a little bit. They had a lot of long shots, to be fair, but then Alberto Cherry made it 3-1, and that kind of killed the game off before the very same man who'd scored their goal gave us a goal, which was great, and that made it much more comfortable. 4-1, very, very harsh on them, though. I was not expecting a 4-1 result there, but the win, even that, I would have taken a draw, but a good result nonetheless, and we've needed that, really, because we've been poor lately. However, the next game was a reversal of luck. We were by far the better team against Nice. They had 3 shots on target in the entire match, and all 3 of them went in the back of the net. I was pulling my hair out. I really was. And Aslan picked up an injury in this game late on, which made it even worse still. And I couldn't believe that they'd scored 3 goals with their 3 on-target shots. One of them was a brilliant goal, but Van Brugen's goal was great. But really, guys, it swings and roundabouts, though. We had a poor result. Well, we had a good result based on an okay performance, and a great performance here yielded nothing but a really, really poor defeat. 3-0 in that scoreline. It's ridiculous, but hey, that's what happened. Next up, we had Nîmes Olympique in the Cup, and I did play a weakened team, as you can see, quite considerably. In fact, Frick, Diakite, Guillaume, Aubin did play, Umbar, Giretto, Mercier, Uchan, Sosa, Chevalier, Scherer? Jerry. Now, he had to go off after 22 minutes, which was not good. Thankfully, it wasn't too serious. Unfortunately, we just could not break them down. As you can see, overall, they actually had a decent number of shots. We eventually ended up winning the game on penalties, which was a little bit worrying, but we did get ourselves through, and that was the main thing. It was a bit of a risk playing a weakened team, but we had so many fixtures that I was just more interested in getting our league form up to date, basically, which is what we did. Next up, against Montpellier away from home. Now, this one was much more of a mugging, and we've got away with this one a little bit. Chevalier, who was filling in today, gave us the lead relatively early into this game, but they did get the equaliser through Formosi Mendy, and they deserved it. We once again mugged off a point there, but a few slightly better results. Now, I think that was the difference between this season and last season. Last year, we were getting more sort of lucky, or not so much lucky, but surprise results, and I feel like we're always going to have a tough year this year because we've got rid of some of the experienced players and we brought in some more of the younger talent, but I think as they develop over time, we should slowly start to build back up again. You know, we can't always be moving up every single year. Sometimes you do have to take a step back and just reassess, but I'm going to be looking at plenty of players in the summer. Hopefully we should be able to strengthen considerably, and I'm also going to try and build another tactic at some point. I don't know when that's going to be just yet, because this tactic does still work, but perhaps not as well as I'd like, so yeah. And if you've got any ways that you might think that we can improve this tactic, please do let me know. But don't just say, do this. Let me know why you want me to do it. Don't just say, move this player here. That doesn't tell me anything. I can't build a tactic based on nothing. You know, there's always has to be a reason for things, basically. But if you do have any opinions on that, do let me know in the comments. I'll be very interested to hear. Next up, we had Olympique Lyonnais in the Cup. And again, I played the weakened side, and we pretty much got exactly what we expected, although we weren't actually that bad in this one. Ivan Schranz, though, with both goals for Lyon, who have been having a slightly better year after a poor start. But as you can see, once again, a relatively weakened team. Hubert was in there, Moussouari was in there, Djorkaeff started up front for us, but this time was unable to find a goal. He did have to go off at half-time, though, because he just wasn't having the best time of it. But there you go. Also note, Victor Valdez in goal there for Lyon, so that's a fun one. Right, so yeah, out the Cup, but no big deal. Next up, we've had a couple of absolute belters of matches against Bordeaux, of all people. At home, they probably deserved it. I don't really know. It was an absolute belter. They took the lead through Nicolas Maurice Bellet on 22. Remember, Bordeaux was 7th. Well, no, they were even higher than that. I think they were either 5th or 4th going into this game. So I genuinely did not expect anything from this game. But then, Dominic Gape played the game of his life for us here with an absolute screamer to make it 1-1. And things just kind of... Well, actually, things took a bit of a downturn there when, of course, Alexis Bossetti put them back in front right on the stroke of half-time, which was disappointing, has to be said. Unfortunately for them, we got back into the game again. Dominic Gape completing a brace. I say completing a brace. He got himself a brace. Second of the match for him, making it 2-2. Unfortunately, only 5 minutes later, Bossetti scored the penalty. It was a poor piece of defending from Musavu King to allow that sort of situation to develop. But yeah, that's basically that. Which is why I immediately substituted him. I was that angry that he'd let the penalty go in, or not go in, but be conceded. Thankfully, Alberto Cherry popped up with a great header to make it 3-3, which was a great game to watch. It really was, and it gave me a bit of confidence that we might actually have a little bit more about it. Also, note Winston Reid playing for Bordeaux, so that's a fun one too. Next up, we had Olympique Lyonnais, and this was this is the sort of wins that we were getting last season and haven't had many of this year. This took me completely by surprise, considering how poor we were against them in the Cup. Maxim gave them the lead on 34 minutes. Dominic Gape also got an assist in that last game. He got 2 goals and an assist. He's been so good. Yeah, he's just been brilliant, and he got the equaliser for us today as well, before Quinton Pereira, who's dipped away a little bit, but has still been there being the creative force and is still one of the best assisters in the league, made it 2-1 to give us a surprise lead. Then Luan managed to level things up for Lyon. Now, they did lose Ivan Schranz, and I think that could have made a huge difference, because he, of course, scored both goals against us in the Cup. And then with 9 minutes to go, Jean-Claude Djorkaeff off the bench to score the winner for us. It's great to see him getting a few goals for us, and we really have needed him at times, because... you know, he's practically become our second choice striker, and that's great because it's someone that's come through our youth academy, and I'm glad to have that happen. Unfortunately, in our last 2 matches, things have taken a little bit of a downturn again. Pereira did get a goal for us in this one, but Filip Djordjevic and Jorginho Wijnaldum, we only had 2 shots on target in this entire game. In terms of our accuracy, just wasn't there. I think what happened is after they went down to 10 men, they shut up shop, and no matter what I did, I could not stop them from shooting from range, and that seemed to be the problem. It was too many long shots, and I just couldn't stop them from doing it. Their tactic, you know how sometimes when you play a game against a weaker opposition, usually a weaker opposition, if you're on a certain tactic, sometimes your team will just not stop shooting from range, and I cannot stop them from doing it, and it was one of these games. They just shut up shop. We did get one goal back from range, of course, Quinton Pereira with another strike, but a great goal from him, but not what we needed. We needed more composure, and I could not, no matter what I did, they would not stop doing it. I actually had to slow the game right down because I was determined to get something from the match, but they just could not do it. And finally we had Stade Rennais, and this one, look at the amount of shots they had. They were battering us, and to only lose this match by 1-0 was an absolute godsend. Ademir Mehmedi got the goal for our affiliate side, but we were nowhere in this match, and another niggly injury for Ergin Aslan did not help our case at all. So here's how the league looks at the moment. We're 15th in the league, 31 points. We're 5 clear of the relegation zone, so I think we're going to be okay. I'm just a little bit worried. I think 2 more wins should... Well, not 2 more. I think 3 more wins would be enough to keep us up. Because that is all I'm really trying to do this year. I'm just trying to solidify things so we can really try and take a step forward, basically. As you can see, though, Quinton Pereira is tied at the top of the assists leagues with Memphis Depay. And, of course, Paris Saint-Germain are miles away at the top of this division now. 9 points clear of Olympique Marseille, and then everyone else is kind of just in behind that. Monaco have started to creep up the league a little bit. They had a surprise win, I think, away at Nantes. But at one point, they'd only got 15 goals in, like, 27 matches, and that is atrocious. But they are looking a little bit stronger now. They might, at one point they were like 7 points from safety, but they did have 3 games in hand. So let's take a quick gander at the squad. Apologies for that. I was looking at my well, actually, let's take a quick look while we're here, actually. So let's at the best players in the club: Pereira, Uchan, Cherry and Gape, but Aslan's not far behind there, and obviously we've got some great potential in some of our youngsters like Mbar, Ruiz, Sosa, and even Djorkaeff still down there doing a good job. Yeah, this was because when I was looking at my Belgium squad on my other save. Right, where are we? It's custom. It's that one, isn't it? Yes, right. Alberto Cherry's top scorer with 11 goals so far, which is not bad, but I would like more. Assists-wise, Pereira with 10. Gape has 7 as well. All round has been solid this year. Player of the match, Pereira, Gape, Cherry and Oban, all with 2 apiece. Average rating is Djorkaeff overall, but let's say Pereira and Gape are very, very close at the moment. Key passes, of course, is Pereira with 121. He still leads the league on that, by the way. Interceptions, 379, amazing stuff, and, of course, value there. Now, you'll notice that Didac, yet again, he's only played 8 matches for us this entire year. He's nearly... we might actually be able to play today. We'll have a little look. So basically, today's PSG. Now, obviously, it's PSG, and we don't expect to win. What I'm looking for today is a better performance than the 7-0 drubbing that we received last time, because that was embarrassing. But unfortunately, we're going to have live comps like this where we just get absolutely dominated by PSG, and it's going to be a while before we can get anything over on them. And I know that I say that at the start of every one of these episodes when we play them, but it's true, and I just like to prepare you for that function so we don't get hate in the comments about losing 7-0. Hopefully we won't lose 7-0. That seems like a little bit harsh. So, right, let's see. Cherry, Aslan, Pereira, Gape, Uchan. Aslan looks to be back fit again, which is good. Bulens is coming along nicely as a player as well, actually. I'm enjoying his work too. It's taken him a little while, but he did get thrust into the limelight very, very early. So that's good. He's got great first touch. Orberg there, Oban, Philippe and Ruiz. So that's sort of looking more like a backline for the future, with the exception of Jeremy Oban, who isn't exactly old himself, but... still, will probably fade away as we bring someone else in, like Ryan Phillips, but the backline is looking more and more positive. You know, Ruiz, Allberg's going to take a little while to get going there. Sigurds is still a solid keeper for us, of course. You know, there's only so much he can do. Overall, I'm starting to like the team more and more, but we do still need to keep bringing through talent as much as we can. You know, some of the injuries that we've got as well, Paciencia, have not been particularly great. Peta 10 being out as well has not helped either. Right, let's jump straight in before this episode goes on for too many hours, because otherwise my voice will go. We're massive underdogs for this game, as you would imagine we would be. PSG have actually lost 5 games this year, though, so there is that. Right, let's just give this a crack. I don't like playing Mbar at the moment. He's made too many shocking errors. He really, really has made some horrific errors. And he is young and he will learn, as Sven used to say. He's young, yeah, he will learn. But still, it's not ideal when that keeps happening. You know, you saw that one in a live comment. I've seen at least 2 other occasions. One where he slide tackled it into his own net, and one very similar to the first one. We just need to go out there and have a crack at this, really. Just see what we can do. Are we all good with these? Yes, we are. Okay, good. I actually remember to change them. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. That's way too big, isn't it? Yeah. I thought I'd remember to change it back, but nope. It's just a question of the less goals that they concede, the better I'll... the less goals we concede, the better I'll feel. You know, and the more we offer... I don't know how we've ever... Oh, what about that? 2 wonderful saves from Benjamin Sigris there. I don't know whether we've actually scored a goal against PSG yet since we've been promoted. If you could let me know in the comments, I genuinely can't remember if we've actually scored against these guys yet. But 16 minutes gone. By this point in the last match against them, I'm pretty certain we'd already conceded like 4 goals or something. Half an hour and no goals conceded just yet, lads. We're doing okay possession-wise. Pass completion is pretty solid too. I tell you what, on the night so far, we've not been better than them, but we've at least been in the game, it seems. Sigris now with a long ball downfield to Cherry. He's surely going to lose the ball here. But Uchan will pick it up here for Paris FC. Gape now. Pereira. Can he pick a pass out? Cherry running into the channel and he's lost out there. Long ball downfield. Please don't let that go over your head. Fucking hell. I'm so sick of those particular types of highlights. I see them so often. Oh, they're so frustrating when you see them get caught under the ball. But it looks like we're actually going to get to half-time at 0-0, amazingly. Possession-wise, they've sort of drawn it back a little bit. But pass completion is still solid for us. I'm amazing that we're getting 81% pass completion against PSG. That is impressive. Now, of course, we're still not... Maybe that's the difference. I've taken it off of lower tempo. That's the only change I've made this month. Again. I might do some more little tweaks, but I'm still not sure yet. The point is, though, at half-time, it is 0-0, amazingly, against PSG, and that is a huge... Imagine if we got a draw against them today. That would take some doing, and I don't think it's going to happen, but you just never know. They're not offering quite as much as they have in previous... This is going to score immediately now, aren't they? They've not offered as much as they have done in previous games, and we've perhaps offered a tiny little bit more. Oh, what a miss that is from Eric Lamela, of course. Well, never mind, that sort of makes sense now, doesn't it? Actually, I shouldn't be taking the piss. He is a fantastic player. He just hasn't had a good time at Spurs, has he? I think we're going to end up conceding a set-piece goal at this rate. David Luiz, Romero, Matuidi there, and it is 1-0, but it's taken them an hour to score the first goal in this match. Now, I don't want to go chasing this game because we don't want to get absolutely spanked. I still feel that they're going to come at us. They're not going to be done with us yet. And I think that there might still be something for us on the break. Or if we can get ourselves a set piece or something along those lines. A lot of corners, to be fair. And I kind of felt like they were going to get a goal from there at some point. Romero there. Ushan nearly clears it, but then Matuidi there, and the man on the line doing his job by standing there and not moving at all. I think he thinks he's meant to be the post. Right, we're going to make a change in... Actually, I'm going to hold off a little bit. Make a double substitution here. Actually, I'm going to get Didats on. He's a creative masterpiece sometimes, and Aslan's not had the best day. In fact, I'm going to bring him on for Pereira, though, because otherwise it's an attacking playmaker role. I'd rather have Didats in there than Pereira. However, we're going to bring Sosa on for Aslan, because he's not had the best time of it either. Oh, could this lad do it again? Cherry's not had the best day, and maybe we need a slightly different dimension up front. I'm going to do a triple substitution now, just to see, and I'm going to do a quick team talk as well. I rarely ever use these, but I want to encourage them. And also, if there's 10 minutes to go, and we're still 1-0 down, I'm going to throw it on overload, just to see if we can nick something, because at that point, 2-0's fine. You know, if we lose 2-0, whatever, but what about getting 1-1? That would be amazing. As long as we don't go and concede like 10 goals in this last 10 minutes, that would be kind of sucky. Sosa now. Djorkaeff. Can he get it around the corner? Oh, good strike. That was a bit better from Djorkaeff. Cherry hasn't really done that. He hasn't really held the ball up, considering he's that kind of target man striker. I think Djorkaeff's got a bit more pace and technique, perhaps, overall, which might be why he provides a slightly different dimension to the play. And he comes again here. It's not the best first touch, but Matuidi's gone through him, and here we go, lads. Matuidi's gone. 15 minutes to go. Can we get an equaliser? Matuidi's been shown a me, and we're off to the races. I don't think we're going to get the equaliser, I really don't, but it's still going to be fun to... Oh, damn it. Unless we score now. Uchan's ball in. Didats! Oh, it's cleared away. Uchan can get on the end of this. Go on, son. Take it round your man. Oh! And that is it. Paris FC 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1. We came a lot closer there. I know they're going to hate this, but... Oh, no, they actually didn't. Okay, fair play. That is definitely our best result against PSG so far. We probably could have maybe... Oh, if we'd taken our chances, we could have maybe nicked an equaliser in that one. But that, to me, shows a bit of progress. We looked a lot better defensively. We only conceded the goal from the set piece. And we had a couple of chances ourselves. So it's better. It's still not perfect, but it is at least something. And we didn't exactly embarrass ourselves this time. And I genuinely expected to do that this time round. Now, next episode may as well be the final game of the season against Stade Caen. Now, remember, we won away from home there on the first day of the season. So you never know what can happen. Next up, we've got Monaco away from home. Now, the problem with that is, as much as they're bad and they are terrible at the moment, they'll probably spank us because that's just how it is, isn't it? But we'll have to see. You never know. So, guys, if you like what you're seeing, please do drop a like on the video. And if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Outcaster icons and From the Shadows in your inbox every other day at the moment at 7 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for the final match of the season. Hopefully, by then, we'll have already secured our safety, but you just don't know. It could be either way. But in that episode, I'm also going to start going through sort of what kind of signings we want to make in the summer, and maybe even having a little look at some players that I've been scouting, because I know some of you guys wanted to see something like that. So hopefully I will do that as well if I can remember. I'll make a note actually. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.